Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to show you my take on the 3.5 Righteous Fire Live Juggernaut. So as you know, I usually play, or at least this character was played as a Tectonic Slam. This is the same character from the previous video. And I was like, before I ditch the Juggernaut and play up something new, I want to see if Righteous Fire is still that good as it used to be. So in 3.1, I think I played a low-life Righteous Fire Guardian, which was a hell of fun and also pretty strong. And I think in 3.2, I played the life-based version, which was also very good. So in 3.3 and 3.4, I haven't touched any Righteous Fire. So yeah, I was like, okay, we had some changes. So let's just, before we ditch this character, let's equip it and let's see how well Righteous Fire still performs, right? So, in the showcase, I want to run at least one map. Wait a second, let me put this one in here. I prepared the Uber Elder yesterday, right? So I just started Path of Exile, so here we are. We have one Uber Guardian and then we have Uber Elder left. So basically, we're gonna run this Pit of the Chimera map. We're gonna kill the Guardian, or at least the Uber Guardian. So you see the kind of map showcase, and also then we're gonna try to kill Uber Elder. This is the task for now. And as you will see, you're stupidly tanky. Like, this is something Righteous Fire, at least as a life-based and also energy shield-based, is known for. Insanely tanky. So at the moment I run 8.3k life, which is actually, as a Righteous Fire guy, not that much, right? Usually I have like 9 to 10k life, but I was crafting all my gear yesterday. And yeah, I have like self-crafted stuff and also life. God damn it, I lose my spirit in talking. So I have self-crafted life on every piece. This is actually bad because self-crafted ends on I think like 70 over here, 70 over here. Here we have 55. So you can get a lot more life if you spend some more time into it. But I spend like, I don't know, like 4 hours into crafting everything. And yeah, this is, here we are, basically. So that's why I have a little bit lower life at the moment. And we had to do some changes on the skill tree, because usually you would craft... Oh, is this Abaxov's dude? I don't know. No, it's not. So basically, what I wanted to say is, usually you have a self-crafted scepter, if you have the currency for it. And you had this level 1 blood magic attached to your crafted weapon. Which made you, yeah, cast endlessly your Scorching Ray, right? But we don't have this in 3.5, so I had to change the skill tree a little bit. God, I need to run this later on. Oh no, there is Abyss, there is Navali, there is everything. I hope you have time enough to enjoy this, yeah, gameplay. So, I'm just standing here doing nothing. I just want to show you how my live region looks like. It's like on 3k. If I activate the life flask, at least the Sulfur Flask, we get to like 3.6k life regenerated per second. So it's like playing permanently with a life flask, right? The only problem, the only downside with this build is you don't have that insane damage, right? So you have actually two different versions that is played on Righteous Fire. This is either the life-based, I would say cheaper version, and the higher or the more expensive version, which is the low life Guardian. The difference is basically the low life Guardian has a 6-linked chevrons, where you can put in a 6-linked Scorching Ray for insane damage, right? On the live version, you play with KM's Heart, so that means you miss a complete 6-link. So that's why your Scorching Ray is more or less, yes, it does a little bit of damage, but I think my Righteous Fire damage is higher than Scorching Ray. So that means Scorching Ray is basically to debuff the enemy more or less and add a little bit more DPS. While a low life Righteous Fire Guardian has way more damage in terms of Scorching Ray. So, yeah, let's kill this Guardian real quick, and then we're gonna see how the Uber Elder fight with a build like that looks like. Quick sip of coffee. While Elder is doing something, his usual thing. So basically, we play with the Elemental Equilibrium. That means when we touch something with, for example, lightning damage, right? the enemies get 25 lightning resistance but lose minus 50 cold and fire. So that's why we use Stormbrand to trigger this effect, because our both Scorching Ray and Righteous Fire don't hit, right? It's like just a burning ground, right? So yeah, this is the sense of it. So that's why we use Stormbrand to trigger this effect, so that the enemy has actually 50% less fire resistance, so we do a lot more damage. So yeah, start fights, we usually just go with our Enduring Cry, and after that, as soon as we have our Frenzy charges, or at least our Endurance charges, we have 9 of those. You're super stupid tanky. As you see, that's a tier 16 by the way, right? So all you gotta do is stand there and wait. Yes, Scorching Ray does a little bit of damage, but not that much actually. And yeah, if we add our flasks like the Witchfire Brew, which gives us more damage. As you see, the damage is not the best, obviously not. But the tankiness is just stupid. I mean, I just love it, I don't know. You can just brain deadly play all these encounters. And if you want to be a little bit more active, yeah, then use your Stormbrand and use Scorching Ray to make it a little bit faster. And yeah, that's about it. So insanely stupid tanky with this kind of life regeneration and also the life base. So, without more talking, at least I'm talking all the time, I know. But it's a video, what do you expect? We're just gonna skip Alva, rip Alvar, and yeah, let's just turn our face into the Uber Elder encounter. I just hope that I don't die. That would be actually a little bit embarrassing, because yesterday I did it 2 times deathless. It was the first 2 times I tried with the character. It was like, I was just playing or crafting 5 hours, and then like, okay, let's put this gear on, this gear, and then everything was done, and I was like, okay, let's test this on Uber Elder. And this was the first thing I did, and after that I did it as well. So you're gonna see how you're gonna do that. So actually you wanna use Soul of Yugel for less cold damage taking. As always, I forget about switching those, so we're just gonna play without it. So yeah, all we do, Righteous Fire on, Stormbrands. First thing, Enduring Cry to get instantly some endurance charges. We have 9 at the moment, so yeah, that's about it. As I said, it's not the best DPS, but it's like super chill gameplay. I don't know. As you see, yes, I get some damage. Okay, phase transition. Let's go over here. You just sidestep the balls more or less. It's always like 2 crafts. You see, the beam is not doing a lot of damage here. I mean, it's... This build, you know, it is so tanky that you can almost fail in everything and, yeah, just walk around a little bit. So as I said, Scorching Ray is to debuff the enemy. Our main damage comes from the Righteous Fire itself. So if you're not constantly shooting your Scorching Ray, yeah, not that big of a deal, right? But usually you can actually tank, I think, like 2. I don't even know if you can tank 3 balls. We could test that later on. I just don't want to mess this one up. But maybe we can do it in the last term. And yeah, basically you just charge around, your Righteous Fire will kill off mostly everything. And usually on those kind of characters, you know, you need to be careful a little bit more. You can actually tank those Shaper Slams and I don't know what. As you see, another beam here. Okay, let's move to the other side. I'm not even dropping below 50% life, so all easy. Actually, why am I touching the Uber Elder if I actually should get my attention to the Shaper? Okay, Shaper Slam. Okay, he missed. That was not intentional. I actually wanted to get hit, to be honest. But as you see, it's just super tanky. Let's kill off this beast here. Okay, now we have the phase transition. I don't know why I was attacking Uber Elder all the time before. I was like maybe a little bit distracted. But as you see, it's like, okay, 1 ball hit actually the half of my HP. So I can pretty much tank maybe 2 balls. That could work. But yeah, it's just like sidestepping. Okay, Shaper Balls, sidestep. It's like stupid, to be honest. Obviously, it's not going to be like one of those 2-minute super speed Uber Elder runs. But as you see, it's really not hard. And if you want to learn the encounter because you're not that familiar with the encounter, this is a character where you can actually test your limits, right? It's like not that something does a lot of damage. You just need to be pay a little bit attention to these mobs that are spawning. They leave a desecrated ground. So that means that you have a lot less, you degen a lot more while standing on these grounds. So this is something you want to avoid, but it's not like too hard. Okay, Shaper Slam, Mr. Gant. It's not even intentional, I'm sorry. I actually wanted to hit me, but he just doesn't. Okay, another. Let's go into inside here. Hey, where is my beam not shooting there? Hey, here, another Shaper Slam. Okay, it actually hit half of my HP. So, let's activate my flask again. Let's stand here a little bit. Okay, next. So, let's draw our attention back to the Uber Elder. We have the ascendancy that we are actually not gonna get slowed below base movement speed. So that is actually pretty fine. You just want to pay attention a little bit to the Shaper Ball. So as you see them moving, you're just gonna sidestep and that's about it. And then you can get your attention back to whatever you focused on. But it's actually not really too hard at all. So let's kill this one off. Get into here. Actually, you don't want to. You actually want to kill those mobs off as fast as possible because they leave this stupid ground that is actually, yeah, damaging you quite a lot. Oh no, the Elder Slam! Hey, my mouse was off screen. That was unfair. Okay, we are in the next phase, so actually let's kill this one off real quick. And yeah, let's just chill charge around, clear it a little bit off. Actually, I like the MTX, this Shaper Beam dude. I'm the new Shaper now. Gaze into the abyss. Actually, I should call that every time, like gaze into the abyss. Zzzt. Gaze into the abyss. Zzzt. Embraced by misery. Zzzt. I don't know. Either you like those guys that are like super damage and have like fast Uber Elder kills, or you do it the complete safe way like this one. And yeah, I have actually Culling Strike attached to my Stormbrand. So actually, we should be able to cull actually the Shaper. Okay, this is a little bit awkward situation. He's like, we have everything here. We have the desecrated ground. Where's actually Shaper? Is he dead? I think he's dead. Okay, then let's go Uber Elder. I'm still standing in all this shit. It's I don't have more words for it than it's like super tanky and retarded easy. All those beasts are shooting at me like, okay, here it is, Uber Elder down. Hell yes. Okay, now give me, for my super hard effort, give me a Watcher's Eye Jewel. How about that? Yeah, thank you. An Astral Plate? A Crusader Blade. I know exactly that this ring needs a Val Orb. Leave me, so I can explain more of it. Okay, let's quickly check this ring here. 65.9. Holy shit, this is bad. It's still bad. I don't know. Okay, I would say let's just throw everything in any of these tabs here so we have place to explain. Check. So, how does everything work together? The usual thing. Let's start with the gear. And on this part, I want to say actually, there is a couple of, I would say, mandatory uniques. And there is a couple of just self-crafted uniques. And I will give you some more explanation about that and what you can change in that. So I would say the Chaos Heart, the Chaos Way Rings, and the Saphos Frame. These are actually the only uniques we're wearing at the moment. And I would say these are kinda build enabling. So Chaos Heart, a lot of life. So you need to know how Righteous Fire works. Righteous Fire does more damage the more life you have, right? So that's why you want to stack life at the maximum. And Chaos Heart is the undisputed life armor in this game. Sorry, it has no sockets, but still 500 flat life and increased fire damage. Nothing else to say. So here we have two Chaos Ways. They are actually super cheap at this league. Holy shit, I was like... Usually they go for like 2 or 3 Exalts. And in this league, they are like 40 chaos, 50 chaos. I mean, it's like insane. So what they do is you have a percentage of maximum life regenerated per second per endurance charge. That means this 0.4, this 0.4 makes 0.8, and with this point here, we have another 0.2. So each endurance charge gives us 1% more life regen. So that's why I have in town about... Okay, wait, actually, we should equip that and get Vitality on and Purity of Fire. So we have like 1.7k life rec per second. So if we're in fight or have this flask here with the Consecrated Ground, so we get another 2.2k here. And And yeah, with your endurance charges, you have another like 9 or 10%, depend on how many endurance charges you have. So I would say those 4 items should be mandatory. A Cephalus frame is not expensive either. They go for 1 chaos. Holy shit, so expensive. You can actually take the Rise of the Phoenix because it gives 1 more max life. But at the moment, I have like 85, 79, 79 resistance, so we're actually fine. It's almost like wearing a low with just a little bit better because of the fire resistance. So, another point, like, how does Righteous Fire work? You're burning, right? So if we deactivate my Purity of Fire and the Vitality, you see I have 41 fire resistance, so this is what happens. You're burning all the time, same as the enemies. But once you hit, like, no life anymore, you will stop doing that. So it stops at exactly 1 life. So how we can actually make this work? We need fire resistance, because we burn exactly like the enemies do. So the more fire resistance we have, the less damage we get. So there is 2 ways to actually make this happen. Either your life regeneration is higher than your degen, or the easier way, you just get a lot of fire resistance and get like a small amount, so your life regen doesn't have to be that big. But we are still doing both. So, in that case, we are activating our Purity of Fire, and we have like 85 resistance. That means the Righteous Fire damage we get is reduced by 85%. So now, all of a sudden, I don't even get damage anymore. Because my life regen here, the 1.5k, is higher than the degen I have. Okay, small explanation about that. Just to see how it works. So that's why you want to have your fire resistance as high as possible. 75 is usual, right? Then we have with Barbarism, we get 1 max, makes it 76. Then we have the Cephalus frame, which gives us 4 max resistance. That's why my other 2 are on 79. And that would be fire resistance at 80. And we have here an level 20, I think, Purity of Fire with an Empower level. So you can either get the Empower level 3 with a level 21 Purity of Fire, because you want to hit the level 23 Purity of Fire in total. So you get 1 max fire resistance, and that's why we're on 85. Check. So, what about the other gear? I will just go over the gear, and as I said, yesterday I had all white bases, and I just want to briefly explain how I did that. So, on this helmet, it's an Elder base, you get burning damage and conk effect, so perfect for our Righteous Fire. So here we have actually 2 different setups that we can choose of. I think I have those here, yeah. So, in one hand, we can take the usual setup that we have here with Righteous Fire, then we have the Efficiency and the Elemental Focus, with increased area of effect, because without area of effect, I just think for my personal, play style, this circle is way too small. So if we get increased area of effect, it's a little bit bigger, right? What you actually can do to have even more damage, you skip the increased area of effect and get in Arcane Surge and Swift Affliction. So why Arcane Surge? Arcane Surge is basically just a placeholder because Arcane Surge has a duration. Without Arcane Surge in our link, the Swift Affliction will not work, because Swift Affliction only applies on skills that has a duration. But it works in that way if we have both activated in the helmet with Righteous Fire and Efficiency support. So I just prefer this one because it has a little bit more clear range. And I don't mind if the boss encounter takes a little bit longer than usual. Okay, for the helm again, I chaos spammed this one to hit burning and conk effect. You can also, I think, let me check, that's prefix and suffix. So you can actually just go here and spam your alterations away and try to hit conk and burning damage. But in my case, I was like, yeah, screw that. I'm just going to chaos spam this. Better would be if you have the Essence of Horror, but they are going for, I think, 35 to 40 chaos each. And this will give you the mod more 30% more elemental damage. If you hit that mod with burning and concentrated effect, well, you earned yourself quite some money, I guess, because this is super rare but super expensive if you want to buy that. So this is like the pre-stage. There is another thing that we can boost our damage, and this is the Righteous Fire deals 40% increased damage. This helm enchant on a base like this, 40x, 50x or something, it's like insane. That's why I play without the enchant. So basically I play the cheapest version of it. Burning, conk, that's it. Next thing, elemental, the 30% increase the horrorcraft, and then you want to have the helmet chant. So you can basically like, yeah, maybe double or even triple my Righteous Fire DPS, but it's still fine for me. I just did Uberella, you saw it, it's not a big deal, so if you want to spend that one more mirror or something for your helm, then yeah, feel free to do so and make the Uberella encounter shorter. Check, let's go for the weapon. The weapon is a self-crafted weapon. I was spamming alterations until I hit the elemental focus. Because elemental focus, you get elemental damage. You know, this elemental focus and damage counts together, same as the melee splash and the area damage. So, why melee splash? Melee splash was actually my regal. That was super lucky because actually we're not talking about the melee splash, we're talking on the second stat, which is increased area damage. And that also counts for our damage. The rest is just multi-craft with socketed level of support gems, increased damage per endurance charge, and also, what's the next thing? Yeah, increased damage over time, sorry. So, this one was a couple of exalts. Because the base is, I think, 2 exalts, then the multimod is 2 exalts, plus the crafts, it's like 6, 7, 8 exalts. What you can do instead is take the Balefire. Balefire is a unique scepter that gives you a free level 25 Scorching Ray. And that's it. More you don't really need. You can take in some support gems, like, I don't know, like, what do we have here? Efficiency, burning damage, and probably elemental focus or something to have more damage on the Scorching Ray. But this scepter is 1 chaos. And it would just work fine, you know. But if you want to min-max, you want to get one of those scepters and, yeah, craft it like that. Okay, shield we talked. Amulet. This is chaos spammed. What I wanted to get is actually, yeah, just defense stats, like life, resistance, the usual stuff. I took the marble amulet because the implicit is life regen. So that's very good. If you can afford it... And yeah, the base is about, I think, 20 exalts for an Elder Marble Amulet. They are like super rare, so I don't really pay attention to that one. I was just chaos spamming them away. So, there is one good thing about this. Yes, it has fire damage and so on, but the lightning damage to attacks is something very nice to have. Because, as I was explaining before, the elemental equilibrium. So we hit with lightning damage, the monster gets more lightning resistance, but loses fire and cold resistance. So that works on our Stormbrand, but now it also works on our shield charge, because our shield charge does now a small proportion of lightning damage. That's enough to trigger the elemental equilibrium if we hit it with a shield charge, right? So this is quality of life, I would say. Yeah, mana, life, pretty easy. On the gloves, I have Insanity crafted gloves, so I was just buying these Essence of Insanity. I think they go for like 10 chaos, maybe 11. 9 chaos, 10 chaos, yeah, so pretty cheap at the moment. So this will actually give us socketed gems have 16% more attack and cast speed. That means that our shield charge will be a lot faster, since we are not really stacking any kind of attack speed or something like that. So we have shield charge with 45 faster attacks and increased critical strike. Why increase crit? To help proccing the elemental overload. You know, when you crit in the past 8 seconds, you get 40% more elemental damage, which both benefit Righteous Fire and Scorching Ray. So that's pretty solid choice here. For our belt, it's an Elder base. I specifically looked for 3 mods. The highest priority is the increased life recovery rate. So that means that our life regen will actually get over the roof. Because if we just unequip this belt... Holy shit, it's only 100 life per second? I thought it was more, actually. We have here a second one. So if we disable those two, we have like 1.5k. And if we actually enable those two, I will go through the Watcher's Eye a little bit later, you have like 1.7. It's like, yeah, it's a more multiplier of your life regen. So the higher your life is, probably that's why I'm not really that satisfied with this roll. I thought it was more. But in the end, you have like an amount of life regen. With all your life regen in total, right, you have a certain amount of life that you wreck, like 2,000 life per second. And this belt gives you another 20% on top of that 2,000, right? So that's pretty insane, to be honest. And on our Watcher's Eye, we have another 30%, so I get like 50% more life regen. And this is like kinda insane. So, first, life recovery rate, maximum life, increased maximum life. Those are the stats that I was specifically looking on that belt. It's not that super easy to get. I was delve spamming the pristine fossils, that so you have life modifiers, but I still took like I think like 50 or 60 delve crafts to hit one of those. But yeah, it's still like super good. I mean, there is 2 mods on the life recovery rate. One is the 10 to 15. The second one is 16 to 20. Yeah, 16 to 20. And yeah, this will boost your survivability by another layer. For the boots, they are super trash. I just chaos spammed them yesterday with the last 20 chaos I had over, I think. Just like triple life, 20 movement speed, triple resistance, 20 movement speed, and crafted life. So, bullshit. These are super bad. But still, they have the regen enchant, and that's why I kept them. I think I was playing with some different ones before that. I think I have them for 50 chaos or something. Maybe 100 an X. Where are they? Here they are. They're just life, resistance, movement speed. As easy as that. But as I said, like all my pieces here, like crafted life, here we have crafted life. So if you would actually delve mod them or something, or hit the life roll with a craft, you will get more life, right? Okay, for the gems, we have Stormbrand with increased critical strike and Culling Strike, and Enduring Cry as a standalone. So, Stormbrand, increased critical strikes to proc our Elemental Overload, and also Culling Strike, because that's, yeah, self-explaining, I think, when the mob just needs 90% of his life taken down until he's dead. And Enduring Cry, just because the fact that now we have 0 endurance charges. So usually when I start a map or something, I charge in, press this one time, so I have my 1 to 9 charges, and then keep on going. It's just one time I do that. Or on Uber Elder, for example, I just spam them in between because you not get hit that often, right? Yeah, good. Anything else to say here? I don't think so. We explained, I think, everything. Shield, Purity of Fire, Vitality, and Empower support. As I said before, if you want to make it cheaper, get 21 Purity of Fire, I think like 1.5 Exalts, and then Empower 3 for, I think, 10 Chaos. But I thought like Empower 4 should be fine, because once you hit Vitality, gives you more life regen the higher the level, right? So if this one is 21 plus 3 levels from the Empower gem is even more life regen. But I would just simply take this level 3 and this 21, so you save like 2 or 3x. Pretty cheap. Okay, anything else? Nope. Flasks. Witchfire Brew. Witchfire Brew is yeah. And how to say, it just gives damage over time once it's used, and also curses the enemies with the Despair Curse, so I think they get more chaos damage, but that's not the reason that we take it. It's just because the 40% increased damage over time during Flask effect, so yeah. Forbidden Taste as our, oh my god, I got hit, I need to get my life back. Then we have the Rumi's Concoction to add another layer of defense. We have the Sulfur Flask for bleed immunity, and also the Consecrated Ground to have more regen. And also a Quicksilver Flask with speed. More speed. You can also skip the increased movement speed and get this craft. I think it was like regen. 2% live regen per second during Flask effect. So that's another more, you know, more live regen. So it's insanely tanky, as I said, and you can even get more of that. So let's talk about the skill tree real quick. I have here a Might of the Meek. Just because I hit all the layers here with all life armor, live regen, all those points here, whatever. I took those 2 points for the 7% increased max life. But in the end, it's a pretty generic tree, right? It's Righteous Fire is out since I think like 0.8 Path of Exile or something like that. So forever, right? So these are pretty usual trees that you have on them. It's just a small change that I made with like picking up endurance charges, life. Here I needed the all resistance, because I couldn't really get all resistance on my gear that much. So that's actually bad here. You want to replace those for more life. But I wanted to make sure that I'm capped on resistance in town. I know that some people will say, wait a second, you have 9 endurance charges, so you get like 36% all res anyways. Yeah, that's true, but what if there's elemental weakness, you drop that amount, like 40 all res or something. So even with elemental weakness, I will be capped on the resistance, so I can run those mods as well. So no problem on that side. So yeah, endurance charge, max fire resistance, important damage, increased life rec. So here is 2 changes that are actually new. Okay, let's talk about quick here. Elemental Equilibrium, Elemental Overload, fire damage. Yeah, some dex points because we're dex starving. But yeah, let's talk about those two changes that are important for this build. As I was saying, usually you want to have a crafted scepter that has level 1 blood magic, so your Scorching Ray actually takes life as a resource base. But we don't have this enchant here. So what I did was taking the Tireless, so our we have reduced mana cost of skills. And I also took those 3 nodes here, mana and life regen, from the Templar area. So if I would actually... let me quickly do that. 1, 2, 3. If we actually refund those 3 points here, you will see in terms of mana that my Scorching Ray will slowly remove my mana until we are actually not able to cast this anymore. Yes, it takes a little bit of time, but especially since you're face tanking almost all the time, you're just constantly spamming this, right? And this is what happens once you don't have the mana regen nodes. You just cannot sustain the Scorching Ray. So that's why I made the decision to actually replace some points and take them over here. And now all of a sudden we have more regen to permanently keep up Scorching Ray. I think it's actually... I'm still actually degenning. But it's like 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 60, 60. I probably can spam this like a minute now, I guess. Or at least like 20 seconds. No more. But yeah, this is one factor that I had. And you're gonna imagine the more mana you have as well, the higher your regen is, right? But this is like a small change that I had to do because without those nodes, without Tireless and without those nodes, if we replace those real quick, let's spend another couple of refund points. I just want to show you the difference here, right? So if you remove this one here and those, you see that we're actually... yeah, cannot even keep that up, like, not even 10 seconds, probably. So that's actually pretty bad. And yeah, this is about the skill tree. Let's talk about the gems real quick. Because we have actually 2 different gems that we use. 3 with the Might of the Meek. Watcher's Eye Jewel. You want to have the increased life recovery rate while affected by Vitality. So that means that we have way more life regen, especially, yeah, while affected by Vitality, obviously. The second one, I think the first mod goes for like 2 exalts, I think, if I'm correct. Just the life recovery rate, 20 to 30 is the roll. So we are at 2.3 exalts. If you want to get one step better, you're gonna take the second mod as well, which is physical damage taken from hits as fire damage while affected by Purity of Fire. This is actually pretty sick because we have 85% fire resistance. So if we get a huge melee hit, I mean, it doesn't really matter that much because we have a shitload of armor. It will still get converted, 10% of that physical damage will get converted to fire damage and again gets reduced by another 85%. So it's basically as like 10% less damage taking, more or less. Okay, for the other jewels, they are all the same. And these are these kind of jewels. Burning damage, fire damage, life. They go for about 2 exalts each. But I would definitely skip the fire damage in this part. If you just go for life and burning damage, they shouldn't be too expensive. So everybody can afford that one. And it's just a little bit less DPS. 3 chaos, 4 chaos, that's about it. And if you want to get the other mod as well, then it's probably 2x. But it's just 16% increased fire damage. So yes, it is good. Yes, it will give you more damage. But in the end, it's not like too fancy. Important is the life. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times those jewels actually. Was it 6 times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. I don't know. I'm too bad at math. So passives. I don't want to make this guides always so long, but there's so much to explain. I don't know. I'm sorry. So we have 2 passive points coming from helping Aramir, I think. So kill all bandits for the 2 points. Pantheons, I have the Soul of Solaris for another layer of defense because we have physical damage mitigation. Then I switch between Tukohammer and maybe for Uberella you can take Yugul, but as you saw it's not even necessary. So Tukohammer will give you more life regen when standing still. So as channeling this one, we're still standing still all the time, so we get even more regen, so that's fine. In terms of MTX, Seraph, holy shit. Celestial Hood with the red glowing eyes. We have the Dragon Hunter wings, the Ultimate Chaos body armor, the Seraph sword with the Ultimate Chaos shield, the Forged weapon effect, Kitaver gloves and boots, the Ultimate Chaos footprints, Celestial character effect, and the Demon King portal effect. For our skill MTX, we have the Shaper's beam. I love it. It's just the same sound actually as the one if you do Shaper, right? For Scorching Ray, then we have the Betrayal Aura effect attached to, I think, Purity of Fire, maybe. Carnage Aura effect, the Celestial Righteous Fire effect, that's the Shaper one, and the Demonic Shield Slam to, yeah, make it red to look beautiful on our MTX. So, is there anything else to explain? I don't think so. It's actually a pretty self-explaining build. Super lazy playstyle, very effective, insanely tanky, shitload of life regen. You can just like, don't really care about anything, right? Because especially, that what I forget, Ascendancies. We have Unstoppable, so we can skip the Chaos routes and don't get slowed on the Uberel encounter, Unflinching, Unrelenting, and Unbreakable. So, this is what I wanted to explain before. Unrelenting. We have additional physical damage reduction per endurance charge. We have 9. We have reduced elemental damage taken while at maximum endurance charges. We have them all the time, right? As soon as we enter the map and do our first enduring cry or get hit for the first time, we actually get the full portion of endurance charges. And also chaos resistance, so that's pretty nice as well. It's just super beefy, it still works like a charm. This league super expensive, to be honest, because I know that on the other leagues that I wanted to play it, it was like hilariously expensive. Nowadays, since actually nobody's playing it anymore, I don't even know why. It's actually cheap and affordable to play something like that. And yeah, I think we are fine with terms of explaining. And yeah, if you need anything more, Path of Building, a link is in the description below with exactly this tree, these items, and whatever. And yeah. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and I guess see you on the next video. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to show you my min-maxed version of my Essence Drain Occultist, currently level 98, so we did some breach runs, Breachstone hosting with the viewers on stream. So I got this one pretty fast, pretty high. And yeah, this is the more min-maxed version, the more expensive version of the previous video, which was the Essence Drain, Blight, Contagion, Low Life, you know, triple Purity, double Curse, thing-ish. Caster. Chaos Caster. So, I spent more currency into this now, so as I said, this is the more min-max version, but it's still not the min-max super version, so I'm still missing my 2120 gems and so on. But yeah, in the end, this is the current take on it. I think the character is done at the moment. I was struggling to get my resistances done, so I chaos spammed yeah, some items to just get my resistances done, so they are not like top-notch or something. But anyways, for the build showcase, we're gonna run a Forge of the Phoenix map. This is the last one before encountering Uber Elder. And I haven't tried Uber Elder on this character yet. So even though I played Essence Drain quite often, I have never tried Uber Elder with it. So this is going to be first time today. And yeah, we're gonna see how it works. I don't want to explain too much about the build, how it works at least. Because I think I made a good explanation or half a good explanation on the previous video, so if you want to check that one out, feel free to do so. Link is given in the description below. But just for the small reminder, we have Contagion, which gives a circle and debuffs the enemy. When the enemy dies while having Contagion on, they will, as soon as they die, they will leave a circle which spreads Contagion. Same with Essence Drain. Essence Drain is our high dot damage. So if an enemy is debuffed with the Contagion and Essence Drain, as soon as he dies, he will spread the Contagion and the Essence Drain. So the more mobs there are, the bigger the chain reaction until the cooldown is gone. So, yeah, let's see in theory, or at least in practice. You see, we're gonna curse the first thing, the second, and everything is just going to die. If we're just gonna make this with Contagion, you see, they will leave these blue circles, but Contagion is not doing a lot of damage, so yeah, Essence Drain is the one that actually does a sick lot of damage, and also our Blight and Val Blight that we have here. Usually, if you just encounter, I'm just gonna wait for the Syndicate members to pop up, to be honest.
No more deals. Just good.
There they are. So one wild light, and they should actually be dead as soon as he...
Fair fight.
Wait, there's two of them.
Not bad.
But usually you're just gonna blight them down. And then it is.
I choose.
The damage is quite nice, I have to say. It's basically the best take on an Essence Drain character that I had so far. Cause the other ones are, you know, Chaos is kinda hard. You see how big this explosion was? The chain reaction was like 2 or 3 screens now. So if the monster density is fine, you'll have a lot of fun with this, just clearing off everything. What I was saying, scaling chaos damage is not that easy, because there is not a lot of chaos damage stuff that is good, and in the end you want to scale... Holy shit. Keep it freeze. You want to scale the max level, because on casters' skill gems in general, I think, and especially in chaos, base level is king. The higher your base level, it's just super important to have a high base level. I'm gonna show you that later when we go over here, how important it is, because I will just switch my Essence Drain to my Chevron's revving setup, so it's just a typical 6-link. And then we're gonna socket it into my current stave too, so you guys see the damage difference on what +2 level of socketed support gems and so on does. But yeah, let's go and try to kill this last Guardian. But it's a pretty forward build, actually. The playstyle is a lot different than usual, so it's a lot of fun. And at the moment I have like 250k chaos damage, but this is without all these minus chaos resistance for nearby enemies, same as the Ascendancy. We have like here 20%. So it sums up. I think in total I have like more than 50% less resistance on the enemies. So this is a tier 16 Elder Guardian. And usually it's enough if I just tap on Blight to get the hindered and the increased chaos damage taking, and one Essence Drain should basically be enough to, yeah, get into phase transition. Let's see if that works. Essence Drain is on. Just move around. Oh, maybe a second. But it's close actually. But you saw there's nothing. You're just gonna get your dot on and then try to, yeah, dodge or whatever you do. Holy shit, the debuffs. No. But this is the good thing about caster builds, right? Same with Stormbrand. Oh, holy shit. And the other stuff that are caster builds, because I'm used to melee kind of builds, right? And casters, I always see they just gonna add their buffs or debuffs or whatever, and then they run. You know, as a melee, you always have to freaking go nuts to the boss, and here you're just gonna get your buffs or debuffs on, and sometimes it's stupid hard to hit this Essence Drain. It has such a small hitbox, actually. But yeah, usually you get your dot on and then you're free to run if you hit it. I mean, it's not hard to hit, it's just me being a very bad player to not hit it. It's like, sometimes there is a mob here, you know, and I'm like this. God, I missed! I need
more mana.
Finally, you know, I just take several attempts. I'm not used to caster builds, so I'm sorry. But anyways, that was the map showcase. I would say let's get straight into the Uber Elder encounter and see how that works. And as a reminder, I've never tried Uber Elder as an Essence Drain character.
See you soon.
So, probably we should take Soul of Yugul for the reduced cold damage taking. And here, Soul of Solaris. Yeah, that should be fine. We're gonna see how that works out. And I'm looking forward to this one. But I'm actually a little bit nervous. Like, sometimes I really try encounters for the first time on the video. So you're gonna imagine how bad it feels if you really die and stuff. But yeah, happens. I'm not a faker.
Exile, do something.
So, let's get our Essence Drain on. A little bit of Blight spamming. Holy shit, that's not... Okay, we have phase transition. That was actually super good. Basically, it's just keep your Essence Drain off and then, yeah, get some of these Blight stacks. And we are already in phase transition. Holy shit. So, Essence Drain, the typical combo. Kill off stuff here. The portals are dying. Holy shit, that was more damage than I was expecting. Holy fuck. Okay, here is the next portals. Portals are done. We're on Shaper.
Embraced by misery.
Super Slam, dodged. Okay, let's get the dot on.
Gaze at
Already phase transition again? Holy fuck! Okay, Val Blight. Look at the damage! Holy fuck! That was way more than I was expecting. Holy shit, I'm slowed. Wow, holy shit! I mean, I know that it's quite nice damage, but I didn't expect it to be that much. Holy, I'm frozen. Holy shit. Okay, this is a little bit weird situation here. Okay, I got it. Well, let's just Contagion, Essence Drain, clear up the mobs. Shit, that was close. So, Shaper, debuff. Shaper, debuff. Essence, phase transition again? Holy fuck. Essence Drain, let's kill off this mob here. One Essence Drain should be fair enough. Hide a little bit. Holy shit, that's bad. Okay, I think the dot is on, not sure. I'm just gonna randomly try to get into the target. Okay, we're in phase transition again. Holy shit. Okay, let's wait till this blob is going. Perfect. That's actually so nice. Holy shit. Okay, let's get this Essence Drain. This Essence Drain. Essence Drain for this mob. Contagion to clear up all the portals. You see, it's like you do it one single time and all the portals are getting debuffed. And everything is just dying and spreading. Okay, this is a bit bad. Ugh, God, slow. Is Shaper dead already? No. Yes. But now he's dead. Okay, let's kill this one. Spread Contagion. Oh, Val Blight is up. Holy shit, I'm actually surprised. This build does perform way better on Uber Elder than I expected it to be, so... Wow. Nice, I like it. Okay, we got the Void Forge. Void Forge. Can we make a build with Void Forge? Maybe. We should try that. Okay, so let's go into the detail. What did I change? And yeah, how everything works together, I would say. So let's first of all, we're gonna take a look at this Void Forge. How are the rolls? 91, 8, 95. Hey, that's actually a pretty good Void Forge. Can we link that quick? Sorry, this is not a build guide thing, but I just have to. I just want to see if I'm lucky, at least on this video. If it's not a gambling video and it's just a random video where I just show something, you're just gonna give me that 2 or 3 minutes. Come on. Daddy needs a Void Forge. 6 link, please. Well, at least I tried, right? But I got 6 socket, that's something. So I'm still super, yeah, unlucky with this one. So let's just pass everything into here. We're gonna pick that up later. And yeah, let's go over the character. So basically, the only core item is basically a Chevron's Wrappings. Since we're a low life build, that means we have currently 17 life. So chaos damage bypasses the energy shield. So you can have like a million energy shield. If you have 1 life, you're gonna die instantly to chaos damage. That's why we need a Chevron's Wrapping that says chaos damage does not bypass energy shield. So now the damage goes to energy shield first if it's chaos damage. So this is the more important thing, right? So I would say we're gonna start from the top to the bottom, and I will quickly explain how I crafted these items and the gem slots and so on. So let's start with the helmet. Helmet is basically just self-crafted, a hubris circlet. I should get an essence drain damage cast on it, or at least an enchant if you can get that. Basically I have something like this somewhere, I think. But I have a big problem with my self-crafted gear, because I want it to be beautiful. And beautiful is a shaper base, cause it's, yeah, more beautiful, right? Same with the staff, same with the boots, same with the gloves. I just want it to look beautiful. So anyways, it is delve crafted with aberrant fossils. The good thing about it is a non-meta build. That means that all the chaos items are pretty cheap to get. I think today I bought a shitload of these Aberranth Delph fossils. They have these more chaos modifiers, right? I think I got 5 of these fossils for 1 chaos. So there you see it's super cheap, right? Plus the resonators if it takes like a chaos or half a chaos. Pretty easy. So what I was trying to do here is just get the nearby enemies have minus 9% chaos resistance and energy shield. That's it. Resistance would be better, but didn't hit, so who cares? So, gems, we have Despair and Feeble Blasphemy and a Blood Magic level 21. I don't know if on I think it is necessary since we are actually running Clarity on Blood Magic as well. So you gotta make sure that your Blood Magic is level 21 and that you get all your mana reservation skill points like Charisma, and here on top here reduced mana reservation on the left side. Sovereignty, mana reservation. You're gonna need a shitload of that because we are actually running 2, 4, 6, 8 things auras on life and mana. So that's a lot. So you need all those. So as I said, this is the min-maxed version, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Okay, these are our 2 curses that we reserve on life. As I said, the Chevron's wrapping's pretty, common, unique, I would say. Goes in with Blight, Control Destruction, Efficiency, Swift Affliction, Void Manipulation, and Empower support. So, if you cannot afford that, skip the Empower and get, play it on a 5-link, more or less. But I still don't really want to go for the cheap things because I explained all of that stuff on the previous video. So, as I said, again, I know I repeat myself, but if you're looking for a budget way, check out the older video that I uploaded like 2 days ago. There you see the non-expensive gear, at least affordable gear. Okay, so this is the same setup, like Control Destruction, Efficiency, Swift Affliction, Void Manipulation, and Power is basically the best setup or the only setup that you can actually run with Chaos spells. So I have the exact same setup here in the staff here. So here I want to show you real quick how much these level does. So here we have chevrons, just the normal chevrons, right? So no plus level of socketed gems, no nothing, with Empower. So that means my essence drain does 149k. I don't think you can see that. Dot damage is not listed here either. That's bad. But yeah, still I can see it. I can tell you. Wait a second. Can you see it? No, you can't. But it is 149k damage per second. So if we switch that essence drain now with the weapon, we suddenly have 257k DPS. That's more than 100k dot DPS more just because we have a level of socketed gems and plus level of socketed support gems. So there you see how insanely that scales. So here we have actually an essence drain level 24. And here we have an Essence Drain level 28. So 4 base levels of Essence Drain is basically more than 100k Chaos DPS. Alright, so same setup as before. As I said, let's go over Essence Drain, Efficiency, Control Destruction, Swift Affliction, Void Manipulation, and an Empower support. You can squeeze out more damage with like level 21 gems and so on, but yeah, if you want to spend that. So let's go for the stave. If you remember, in the previous version, I used this one. This has 2 level of socketed gems, or at least like chaos gems and multiplier and so on. This is a pretty decent weapon, but this one squeezes out way more. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a staff, and it does not have to be Shaper. As I said before, it's me being completely stupid. Oh wow, a Shaper stuff looks way better than a normal stuff. I like this background, so let's craft this one. So in the end, you're gonna spend more and more currency to craft something like that, because a shaped staff can have way more modifiers than a non-shaped staff can have, right? Okay, makes sense. So what you're gonna do, you have 2 options basically. In one hand, you're gonna just spam alterations until you hit plus level of socketed gems. Then you're gonna regal it, and then try to annul off the second, the suffix, prefix, whatever you get. Unless it is a high tier cast speed, high tier like the other stuff that I crafted on this one. Then once done, or at least the second version would be if you take a white item. I don't know if I have a white item here. If we're just gonna take this one, for example. Let's see, just for showing, right? So this is a typical, I don't know, like this base. Okay, what you can do is, let's take some Scourings and some Regals. This is the more safe version, but it's more expensive. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna craft mana, for example, for 3 augmentations. So it is a magic item, and then you're gonna regal and try to hit that +1 level. If you don't hit it, score it off, craft mana, regal. Score it off, craft mana, and regal. Okay, this is what you're gonna do until you hit the +1. Because with the regal, it's going to be a rare item. And in the end, you just can remove the crafted mods, and there you go, you have your 1 stat Lion's Pelt. Perfect. Isn't it beautiful? But it's more expensive. I tried that in the start before alteration spamming, and I spent more than 200 regals and didn't got my +1. So I was like, screw that, let's alteration spam and regal and try to annual. I was just super unlucky. I had to roll the mod for 12 times, because 11 times I annulled off the plus level of socketed gems. That was so annoying, and I was so mad in the end, you know, but finally I got it, you know, like the chance was most of the time 50-50, and I always annulled off the plus level of socketed gems, which sucks, but hey, there we go. In the end, you're gonna use your plus level socketed support gems, increase chaos damage, chaos speed, and the non-ailment chaos damage over time, which is more damage. Like the 40% non-ailment chaos damage over time multiplier is more damage than, for example, the 90% spell damage craft. So just to make sure. So this is the best version you can get, more or less. There is another way that I was trying to get before. I'm gonna write that down quick. You have like 3 prefix, right? Prefix and suffix. Suffix we don't care at the moment. I just want to show you what I tried to do. I wanted to have a plus level of socketed +1 gems, then +2 chaos gems, and a +2 crafted support gems. This is what I tried to do. The problem is what I did not know before, that the support gems and the chaos gems, they share the same spot. So you can't have both on it. You can have one of these, like here, or the other version, like this. This is what you can do. But you cannot get all 3 on that. So that's why I ran it in the path of building, and the +2 level of socketed support gems is worth more in terms of damage, quite a lot more damage, than the +2 chaos. Why? Because the socketed support gems gives more levels to empower. That means I'm running an empower level 7, yeah, 7, which gives 6 levels flat to our essence drain, which is insane, right? So that's why this combination is probably the most valuable one. Okay, let's move on with the next one, the Owl's Amulet. So I choose to go with an Owl's because it has Discipline, reserves no mana. This I combined with the new Vivinsect ring, which gives you socketed level of socketed aura gems, which is Discipline. But it has more mana reservation, but you get all attributes. You have life regen for each uncorrupted item, which I have a lot here, and with the Zealot's Oath I get this for energy shield, so I have permanently life energy shield regen as well. But yeah, you're gonna reserve more mana, and we are strength and dex starved on this build, so that's another good solution with the all attributes, strength, dex as a how's it called, a veiled mod, right? I got this for 1 or 5 chaos. It's pretty cheap, but you're gonna make sure there's a lot of strength and dexterity rolls, so you're gonna make sure you hit the highest. This is 15 to 17. So that means that I reserve a lot more discipline, but with the Owl's Upraising, discipline reserves no mana, so I don't have any downsides of the Vivinsect, but I get a 26 discipline aura, which gives a lot more energy shield. So, the second ring I have is the a self-crafted ring with Aspect of the Spider, energy shield, and then just faster start of energy shield or resistance, because I was lacking some all resistance. Before that, I was trying to play around with the Shaper ring, but the Shaper ring with an 80% 10-10 roll that only gave like 30k DPS. So I was like, let's take this one, have more energy shield, be safer, we have enough damage. Okay, for the gloves, this is just chaos spammed for energy shield and faster casting. You don't need that, but I think faster casting with contagion is a super good link. Usually, if you would run a one-handed weapon at the shield, you can have more energy shield, and you get the movement spell in here, maybe a cast when image taken setup. So you can have a full-linked essence drain, contagion setup with faster casting, arcane surge, for example, what else? Efficiency for more damage, something like that. But in the end, since I'm using a staff and I have double 6 link for damage, which is a lot more damage than one-handed shield, I had to cut on Contagion. And Contagion, I think with all the cast speed we have, does cast pretty fast, to be honest. So I don't really need the other stuff. But since I wanted to have it fast, I did the Sorcerer Glove as a shaped base to get this faster casting mod. So I don't even have resistance on that. That is purely chaos spammed for energy shield and, yeah, faster casting. So we have Contagion as a standalone. We have Flame Dash as a standalone because that helps a lot on encounters like Uber Elder when you're slowed or you need to get over some gaps, you know, pretty decent. Then we have a level 21 Blood Magic support with Clarity. So, the problem is, without Clarity, if I show it like that, if we remove Clarity, then we have to take a Life Flask because we are not having any life regen. Let me check. Leveling, Life Flask, let's get me full on life. Perfect. So, without Clarity, you see that my mana is actually soaking up. So, I cannot constantly spam Blight because I will run out of mana. So what I did is I added those low-level Clarity with a Watcher's Eye Jewel with Clarity for mana regen. So once this is equipped, I can permanently spam without losing any mana. So this is actually quite insane with the mana regen because our Essence Drain with the Empower and all that stuff costs 104 mana. So we can basically shoot out twice before we have to wait to regen. This helps a lot, like when you kill stuff, you regen a lot, right? So usually if you just run around, kill one screen, and the move, you kill one screen, you have enough regen to just compensate for that. Okay, let's move over to my belt. This is just a crystal belt with Aberrant Fossil Craft, so this has chaos damage. Since I was just buying, I think, 100 or 200 Aberrant Fossils to get this Helm enchant with a negative 9% chaos resistance. And once I hit that with like 300 energy shield, was like, yeah, fine, that's good. Let's move the rest for the crystal belt. Yeah, and that's it. It's just basically chaos damage, some energy shield, and that's about it. Nothing too fancy, doesn't have to be a shape base, forget about that. It's just me wanting to have shaper bases because it looks more beautiful. I don't know. But in the end, it's just chaos and maximum energy shield. Nothing too special. For the boots, they are chaos spammed as well because I needed resistances. Since we are running triple purity, we still have a pretty low resistance count because this has no resistance. This is only lightning resistance. Here we have crafted 10 all rest. This has no resistance. The owls has no resistance. So we're pretty resistance starved. And on the tree, I took everything to all elemental resistances. You see, I have every single node that was in reach for elemental resistances, and I got a jewel with elemental resistances. So yeah, I just chaos spammed them for some energy shield and fire and cold resistance. And if you think that's a lie, I don't really care just screwing that off. You know, like, holy shit. That took me like 50 chaos orbs to get. So boom, there you go. It is a true fact that I chaos spammed them before the video to just fix my resistances. So anyways, we have Purity of Fire, Ice, and Lightning, which gives us 42 all resistance with an Enlightened support to have enough resistances. So since we are having Purities, we have a lot more max resistance. Obviously not now because I screwed off my boots, which is actually pretty stupid. But anyways, where's my Contagion? Here it is. We have 80% on fire cold resistance. It's counted as a low weave more or less. And we have 81 lightning resistance since we get 1 max lightning resistance on the unnatural calm. Check. So what else is to say? I think we went over the staff, this, that, and that. Perfect. Flasks. Witchfire Brew, just because of the damage over time that we have while we are in the Smoke Cloud, or at least like once we activate it. We have a Chemist's Basalt Flask of Heat for freeze immunity and some physical mitigation. Rumis Concoction to add another layer of defense. Sulfur Flask for bleed immunity and also some more energy shield regen. And a Quicksilver Flask to actually move a little bit faster. Alright, let's go over the skill tree. I know that the skill tree looks a little bit fancy, but in the end, I searched for stuff that I need, right? So I have a lot of auras. That means I need mana reservation. And if you check mana reserved, I took those here, this cluster here, the cluster over here, and the cluster over here for the maximum on the skill tree, actually, I think. Here is some more. But yeah, the things that were in reach, right, as a witch. Like, we have the topper side of the skill tree. So, yeah, mana reserve all the time. Then, as I said before, 2 all elemental resistances. We have every single node that is in range for elemental resistances, as I said before. And the rest is just chaos damage, which we have over here, here, and on the top side. And the rest is just either spell damage or just flat energy shield. So this is how these skill trees work together. Obviously with Pain Attunement for low life, since it's a 30% more spell damage multiplier for our damage, which is great. And yeah, this explains why we start here with spell damage and take those nodes. Here we have 1 additional curse. And the other side is just energy shield, energy shield, energy shield. In terms of leveling, it's important to get all these mana reserve nodes first. Then I would go for probably chaos damage, and then I just stacked a lot of energy shield. So we run 4 jewels in total. At least in my specific thing, I ran 5 in total. Because I have here all resistance, because I was, as I said before, resistance starved. So if I remove those 3 points, I would add them into more chaos damage here, more increased area of effect of our non-curse hours, which is discipline. And the last point, I don't know, somewhere maybe here for more energy shield recharge rate. Okay, we have a double spreading rod that says that you have more chaos damage, you have more blight damage, or at least more hinder damage, and enemies take 25% increased chaos damage while they have blight. We run 2 of those because you can have 2 of those. That's why I mean you're gonna use your essence drain and then run nearby, press your blight once. You don't have to permanently channel it. I mean it's a lot of damage, trust me on that. If we calculate that together, we have blight damage, we have 22.6k at the moment without negative multiplier. So what you can have is you can add 20 layers of that. So that alone is like 500, like 450k chaos DPS, right? So the longer you can channel, the more damage it will do. But usually it's enough if you, like the stash is the enemy, if you just tag them and then run by, trigger it once. So they are actually hindered from the blight, and then through our spreading rods take more chaos damage. So the essence drain ticks even harder. So I have 2 corrupted ones, one with Cursed with Silence and one with Corrupted Blood cannot be inflicted to you, which is pretty cheap, I have to say, compared to other jewels, because Essence Drain, or at least Chaos builds, are non-meta, so you're gonna get these items pretty cheap. I think I paid like 30 Chaos for this and like 50 for this, so it's a price difference maybe nowadays, but when I bought them it was kind of cheap. So then we have an Essence, a Watcher's Eye, with 2 mods here. I got this one for 6 exalts. As I said before, the clarity with the mana problem. This is nice to have. It works the same on like Righteous Fire with the life recovery rate. This one is mana recovery rate. But the one that you want to get is the Discipline, the fastest start of energy shield recharge rate while affected by Discipline. They go for, I think, 2 exalts, maybe 3 exalts. I need to check real quick. If we just gonna check in the Discipline mod without stats, because I divided that to 40. They start at 2.4 exalts, so they are affordable. Okay, and for the rest is an Unnatural Instinct that we can use over here in this cluster. So what this does is you get all the nodes that are unlocated, so not skilled, but the ones that you have skilled do nothing. That's why we choose mana here, because then we get 3 times life regen, we get here effect of curses, we have double skill effect duration, which makes our essence drain and blight and contagion tick longer. Then we have more area damage, area of effect, and also, most importantly, here 9% additional cast speed. I mean, it's not most important, but still, it's very nice to have. So you get a shitload out of it, but it's expensive. So if you're just gonna go over this, you see how many stats we get from this Unnatural Instinct. But they are kind of expensive. They go for 15 exalts nowadays. If you don't have that one, you're gonna take that one out. You're gonna use something like this, like spell damage, max energy shield, whatever, and just kill the life region nodes and skip the mana nodes. But if you have the currency, take this one. That gives you a lot more juice to your setup. Alright, next thing, I don't think there is any more to explain. What about the ascendancies? You can go with Profane Bloom. which makes the chaos explosion once the enemies die when they are cursed. But the problem is that these explosions interrupt your essence drain chains, right? So for me, it just doesn't feel well. If you're gonna have a room here, you do like this and that, and then you expect the whole room to just like die, right? But the first target that got hit or dead, killed by Essence Drain explodes, kills like 5 mobs, and the rest of the room stands still. That's the problem. So that's why I really enjoy the rework of the Occultist, so we have the possibility to go with Void Beacon and Withering Presence. So Withering Presence does actually, you hinder enemies when you stand next to them, or at least like you wither them, so they get more and more chaos damage, right? So usually you were running Essence Drain with a Spell Totem with Wither that was just casting all the time, but here just stand next to the mob, like the Shaper Portal, and they just get more and more minus chaos resistance, and you just do more and more and more damage, right? Insane. And the first 2 I took was Wicked Ward and Vile Bastion. For the stun immunity, well, Energy Shield, and obviously the 250 flat Energy Shield, which is a lot. Alright, skill tree I think is well explained. Path of Building link is in the description below. And yeah, let's go over to the next part, which is passives. I think I killed all with this one. Yeah, I killed all bandits because there is no reason to take anything else. We're not a crit build, so Alira doesn't do anything. I don't even know what Caitlyn or Kraylin is doing, and Oak could be 1% Energy Shield regen in that case, because of Zealot's Oath, but we're gonna take the 2 points, really, because Energy Shield based builds need a lot of skill points, because there are so many Energy Shield nodes on the tree. I'm level 98 and I still want to have like 20 more points, please, for more Energy Shield. But yeah, it is how it is. We have more Energy Shield over here. Like if that would be the same with life nodes, holy shit. Okay. Then we go for the Pantheons, as I said before. We have Soul of Solaris and Yugol for the Uberella encounter that we just did. Otherwise, I think I run to Kuhama for regen while we stand still, because usually, I mean, if a boss dies lasts longer than 5 seconds, you know, you're just gonna stand here and cast Blight. So you're standing still, so you get the regen of it, right? And yeah. So, next thing, probably the Transmog if you're interested. We have the Celestial Hood with the Harbinger Eyes. We have the Stalker Wings, the Shadow Stalker Body Armor with the Undertaker Weapon Effect, Undertaker or Master Undertaker Gloves and Boots. Celestial Footprint, Celestial Corrector Effect, and the Demon King Portal Effect that you don't see because these are Shaper Portals. So, Essence Drain, there is one package basically with the Arcane Skill Effect pack that I used, so your Essence Drain Contagion is actually blue instead of purple. Purple looks cool too, but if you're interested what I'm running here. Then we have the Force Field Aura effect that you cannot see because I have no life and it's not activated, so let's get our life back. That's the only problem if you're running Zealot's Oath, you don't have life regen anymore. So if we activate here this one and this one and this one, so here you see the Force Field, that's the blue bubble here. Then we have Flame Dash Dragon effect that I... Here, this one. Clarity has nothing. Then we have Soul Nexus on any of our, I think it was Purity of Fire. So I keep all blue. Because if I disable this, you know, Purity of Fire has a red circle, so I wanted to disable that one, make it blue. That's the main reason why I use that one. So everything is like purple, blue, and yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think that's it for the character. I'm going to replace it now. Probably I will stay Occultist because I still need to do level 100 for the endgame grind. So probably I'm gonna take another try on Occultist build. Could be anything, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm gonna stick with the dots and go for an Cold Vortex dot build that are popular right now. So maybe I'm gonna try this one. Or maybe some other like CI, like whatever. We're gonna see what I come up to. Probably you can sneak in and yeah, on the stream and yeah, take a look what I'm playing at the moment. So yeah, hopefully you like this showcase on my Essence Drainer. Pretty fun character, pretty cool to play. I did my first Uber Elder just on this video, and you saw it was ridiculous. I'm actually surprised. I thought it's going to be a lot less DPS. But in the end, it was actually very, very satisfying to play, and yeah, pretty nice. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see ya on the next video.